Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 17th of May. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be delighted if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to ascend above the Zodiac sign astrology and understand what really makes you tick at a deeper level, please check out my special offer 12-month forecast and character analysis combination based on your unique data of time, date and place of birth. No two charts are the same and will give you searing insights to guide your move in the future. Please see the link below for more information. Hello Pisces, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 17th of May. This week sees the Sun on Thursday move into your 4th house of home, emotion and family. Now already you have Venus there and Mercury and the North Node. So I think this part of your situation is going to come very sharply into focus over the next month. But it is being activated this week because Venus is forging a very constructive link to Saturn. It may be something linked to your past, maybe an old skill, an old talent, an old connection, but something that gives you a sense of comfort, maybe occupies you this week, especially if it's creative. So it could be a craft, a hobby of some kind, it could be painting, something which gives you a sense of tranquility. Maybe it's just picking up a book that's a series of books that have often provided great comfort to you, or watching an old film. That kind of thing could be really lovely. But it is true that if you've got a very clear vision of where you want your life to head, the Sun's angle to Pluto, continuing from last week on Monday and Tuesday, can really see you reach a point of great satisfaction. It's possible that your connection to a group of people or an ideal can seem very, very good. And it could be a sports team, it could be a local crafting group, it could be some kind of spiritual movement, it could even be a political identity that's important to you. But where your ideas can match to others in a big and powerful way, it can actually be very uplifting. But it is true to say that Mercury in your 4th house can be more complex. It is now in shadow. This can make you a bit more introspective, and it is squaring with your co-ruler of Neptune. This can create confusion, I can only be honest, and it may even dim your spirits a little bit, particularly if your vitality or physical energy has been limited by the COVID lockdown and you've not been able to get as much activity, you've been more sedentary. However, your other ruler of Jupiter moved into your sign last week, and that's saying to you, keep the faith because new possibilities are developing between now and the 28th of July. There is a quarter moon on Wednesday. This could push you to try and be a bit more ordered at home. In fact, you could go on a bit of a virtuous mission, tidying up all sorts, and that's really good. But I wouldn't stretch yourself too thin. Prioritise and tick off and complete the things that are essential. Otherwise you could end up the week feeling a bit stressed out, to be honest. But a fine time for sure to declutter, get rid of unwanted items, just get a little bit more order into the situation. By Thursday, however, the Sun arrives in the sign of Gemini, joining with Mercury, Venus and the North Node. And the next month does suggest that where you live, how you live there and whom with is really going to be occupying your thinking in a big way. Also, Saturn goes into a retrograde on Sunday in that most psychological of areas. This could see you reminiscing about the past. It could see you missing people that you had a very close association with. And if you have been thinking about moving for some while, perhaps because where you're living now doesn't necessarily meet all your needs in the way it used to do, this could be a period of great opportunity for you. Essentially, we all need shelter, which is the actual physical structure we live in, but we also need the nurture. So we can live in the most beautiful home in the world. If we're not getting that nurture or emotional interaction, it can be a pretty empty and soulless experience. So if you're away from the people you feel most connected to, Some kind of relocation may be something you consider, or it could be adapting your current accommodation to make it more comfortable or cozy. It could be through redecoration. It could be through staying in the general vicinity, but actually moving to something that has more light, more space, or less space because it's more economic. So all these kind of things and threads are going to be very much on your mind, but also your relationship to your own inner emotional well-being. That's something that the sun is really going to trigger. And the sun does forge a square with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter and the sun in a right angle can actually make us very optimistic, but it also can see us being overly optimistic. So if you are making or thinking of making any changes, costing it carefully will be essential, because with Saturn going into a retrograde on Sunday through to the 10th of October, you need to be sure that the changes you are making are for the right reasons, not just practically and financially, but also psychologically. You could be driven by a deeper need at the moment, which is a bit hard to understand, but the more you can embrace your fears, your anxieties, your shadow side, the side of you that you find uncomfortable or some people push back about you, the more you're going to solve the puzzle of where you should live, who with, and how.